Welcome back. As you can see, we're celebrating today.
It's so festive.
Episode 100. Excuse me. Volume 100. Sunday, March 9th. We have done 100 episodes of this thing. We're approaching 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When the first episode of Adulthood, the first episode of the Adulthood Podcast debuted April 17th, 2023.
That
baby.
seems like a lifetime ago.
We have been doing this for almost 2 years, and we're still rocking. We're celebrating here, so toast,
cheers
to 100 volumes.
Salud.
La vida más fina.
Hop Studios.
Sorry.
Everyone who's been a part of this ride.
What a journey.
Carmen Bandiego. We got the tequila flowing. We got the balloons. Like you were saying, these are the Bali, but this is what you see. Like when you, if you look good, your friends buy you these for your birthday.
That's a fact.
Why is only if you look good? I never really seen
Because they're expensive.
Uggo carrying balloons. So you think like friends be like, oh, she's not pretty, let's not get her balloons?
Basically.
Because I only seen pretty girls with these.
I think balloons are dumb. Not in like I love
I
balloons,
agree.
but I'm like it's spending money on nothing. It's like sometimes how I feel about flowers. So I'm like,
Oh, you're such, you know what you are? A pick-me. No, I'm joking. You are a girl's, how do you say, a girl's,
A guy's girl.
A guy's girl.
You're a guy's girl.
I'm
You are.
not.
I think you are though.
From the Midwest.
I think
like
you are,
sports and
Carmen.
mole.
yeah. I think,
Hell
I think
yeah.
you are.
I don't know what to do.
You understand the male plight.
You do. The male challenge.
Yeah. Like you don't have these like crazy expectations, like flowers. Like women are like, oh, give me flowers, and then you get them flowers, they just throw them out. Like they just go bad, they throw them out. So
Yeah.
you spent like Valentine's Day came by, and people spending like $400. They order a bouquet of flowers. You look at it, post on Instagram, then throw it out.
Can we just pause for a second? This guy's been working out. What do you got going on over there?
Where?
You saw how is your shirt? Well, come
is
on,
nothing.
man. What
this
are you
is really
doing?
nothing. This is just me. This is like me.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That being said, I'm like, you did say, how long ago were you like, I'm
you
going to
on
get in the
TR?
gym?
Yeah.
I'm like, you've been clearly working out.
Are you on TRT?
How long ago was that?
2 weeks ago?
I said I was gonna
Get
change
ass.
my life.
It was
gonna
probably
change
in
my-
December. Am I wrong?
Was it? No. No.
Look at this guy.
Because I was getting ready.
He said.
I don't know what to say, man.
You on TRT or
Because I
something?
know I was getting ready for the special. So I started the gym. I think I started the gym when I came back from Paris.
Okay.
I think so. Probably like September, early September.
Petty.
Paris, yeah.
chic.
Early September, I started the gym. And I've been going 3-4 times a week for like the last four months. And I'm good, man. I feel good. I feel sexy. I be walking around my apartment without a shirt. You know, I be I go to my front desk to get the mail shirtless. The doorman's like, you gotta wear a shirt in the lobby. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought it. He's like, it's 20 degrees outside. But, you know, I'm in the gym. That's what happens. Now I understand why dudes be shirtless. I always thought they was idiots. But now you go to the gym a couple times a week and you can see it.
You start feeling yourself.
Shirts hold you back.
They hold you back from all your
Wow.
potential.
You know?
Shirts hold you back.
That's
Put
a
that
shirt.
on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's a t-shirt.
Damn.
That's a shirt for
You
sure.
almost got it before us.
What?
Like you almost said it before we did.
And then I remembered that it's
And then-
y'all's podcast.
And then you start. No, I
go
want
for
you
it.
I want you to go for it, but we beat you.
There are 100 episodes
You
deep.
started through it.
you know what? I had a long night last night.
You was like, put that on a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt for sure.
whatever.
I see. She's an adulterer. It's all right.
Let me ask y'all this.
Please.
When you recorded the first episode, like, can we zoom back? If that's a phrase, go back.
That's Mercury's always in retrograde.
Retrograde.
Right.
That's the first volume.
Volume 1.
Epic first title. Where were you both at, like, in terms of, sure, how your bodies looked, fine, but like life-wise?
No, my body was trash at that time.
Yeah, I might have been my like when we recorded the first episode of this podcast, April 17th, 2023, I might have been in the worst shape I've ever been in my
I was
life.
definitely in the worst shape of my life.
I had at that point, I was like, I had convinced myself that women love dad
Husky
bods.
guys?
And I never had to work out and I could just eat whatever and do whatever. And I was like fat in my face. Like even when I look at the videos, I could see it in my face. Like I had like a fat face.
I was definitely chunky faced too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you're both looking gorgeous now.
You know
but in
what?
terms of
That's
like
why we keep you around.
Thank
what?
you.
That's
yeah,
why we have you.
exactly. me looking like a train rat. But like
Marty never gave us compliments.
At all.
well, okay.
Tell her that. Tell her I said that, Johan.
You can tell.
They're
her
moving in
too.
together.
What? Yeah, away from the pod.
Yeah.
It's just us. Are you gonna leave us too?
Don't leave us.
Not planning on it.
I have separation
No one
anxiety.
plans on it.
I know.
So something better calls.
Well, I'm starting a job as Sydney Sweeney's assistant next week, so it'll be done. But what? Yeah, exactly. But in terms of your lives, like where were you at career-wise, relationship-wise? Is it different than now? Or are you like, I can't believe we're at 100 and the same shit's going on?
No, April 17, 2023, I was the HBO special had just came out November, so that the November previous before this. So I was just kind of riding the wave of all the publicity I got with that.
You were blowing up a little.
Yeah, I was just riding that wave. I was still doing like a lot of big interviews, and I did the Breakfast Club, and I did all that stuff around that time to promote the special. And now I think I'm in a better place. What do you think? I'm in a better place for sure.
As in life or as a co-host?
In life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For me,
Yeah.
I'm in, so April 17, 2023, I had just moved to Queens. Like I had just moved, it was a year that I had moved to Queens. I had transitioned professional careers.
You're trans.
Oh, yeah. I had, what was I doing? I was doing a program. I was doing a certificate program for software development. So like I was actually like hella busy. Eating terribly, you know what I mean? So like everything was progressing, but at the same time too, I was just like in terrible shape. Now I feel like I'm in such a better place as I'm about to enter my 36th chamber. Shout out to the Wu-Tang. But like I feel like I'm mentally more clear and astute, acute, whatever words you use in that phrase. And then also I'm just like ready to just take names and kick ass. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was y'all's original conversation to have this podcast? Was this like...
I was stalking Ian for 2 years. Yo, we should do a podcast. Yo, we should do a podcast. Yo, we should do a podcast.
dead ass? Why'd you finally let him?
No, I didn't let him. He had a podcast.
That sounds crazy.
I never had a podcast. He had one. I never had one.
He came on, and it was the best episode.
Yeah, I came on. I was like a guest on his podcast. I never had a thing. And then when I got the opportunity with Hoff, they came to me with the opportunity to do the podcast. I was just like, okay, this seems like it.
See the vision.
It works. I don't know. When I originally wanted to do a podcast, I thought about like doing it with another comedian, because that's what comedians do. Is just like the easiest, because you kind of both. But then I was like, I wanted to have a podcast where I can joke and be silly and say crazy things, but I still wanted to have it grounded in reality in some capacity. And sometimes with the comedians, it could get, if it gets too serious, they're like, well, you guys are comedians. Why is your podcast so serious? And if it doesn't, then it's too silly, too much joking around.
Yeah. So
I was very mindful of that. So when Hoff Studios came to me, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's go for it. That was 100 volumes again.
And
Crazy.
do you feel like the first episode? Because I've listened to like the earliest episodes when I was.
You've listened to every volume?
I haven't listened to every volume yet. Slowly working on it.
Yeah.
But do you feel like the vibe of the podcast now is crazy different than the first one, or because y'all's dynamic is like kind of like set in stone, it's the same show 100 episodes later?
No, I mean, I think like every show, you gotta find your footing, and you gotta find what works. And obviously, we didn't come in here when like those first episodes, we didn't have a game plan at all. Like it was nothing on the board. It was nothing like spoken about. Like we're gonna talk about this.
What did you do? And go.
We had to like find a structure to make it like flow better, because we still had some funny episodes, but it was a little all over the place, I think.
Yeah.
Which now it could still be that way, but I think we've built a fan base that tunes in to hear the chaos that we embark on. I just did a this thing for this magazine who was asking me about the podcast, and they was asking me like, what's the coolest part about doing it, or what's the best part about doing it? And for me, is like when I go on the road now and I meet people who are adulterers, when they speak to me is as if they know me way more personally than like fans who just kind of know me for the comedy. Like they'll just be like, you know, how's your aunt? How's Paris? How was the trip? Tell Carmen, you know, tell whatever. That's the thing where you're like, okay, this feels like a family. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's always crazy for me to put a face on the adulterers, because I've had everything from like people who look like me to women who would look like your mom, like
Deadass.
Yeah, yes. There's a whole thing of like, they've DM'd me on Instagram is like older white women adulterers,
And they love it.
Yeah,
They love us. Like, and this, first of all, this feels like inside the podcast. Like this guy's legs
I
are
was like,
crossed.
why am I interviewing
You're
you
asking all
two?
great questions, but I love it. It's great. The craziest part is having people text you like at 5 a.m. on Sunday and Monday saying, that was hilarious, or when are y'all dropping, or did y'all change, like looking forward to our episodes.
100%.
That's hilarious and great, but also like even like a couple weeks ago, homegirl who said that we helped her get her master's degree or something like that. Like to hear people say that we helped them from our nonsense for an hour, like that's incredible.
Yeah. Okay, then what's the craziest? I have this on the board, but what has been like the wildest fan interaction you've had that hasn't, well, if it's sexual, whatever, but like that, like the weirdest or like most OD fan interaction you've had?
Off the podcast? Or
Yeah.
off the...
But you could also, if you have another story that's coming to mind, we've got nothing but time.
Yeah. I guess I never had any. I wouldn't say I've had insane interactions with the podcast. I have had, like, I've met girls who were like fanning out over like seeing me, which to me, I'm like, you can see me. Like I'm very seeable. I don't know. I don't know. Like
For $20 in a beer.
yeah. I'm
Unseeable.
like, look, I get that we're in the middle of Omaha, and this seems like I would never be here, but I be here. You could see me. That's the coolest thing, because I've had that with dudes. I've had that with dudes, like where like I literally had a dude, and he wasn't like gay or anything, but he was like, dude, I'm sorry, dude, I'm just nervous. Like I listen to you all the time, and like I'm just a fan of yours. I don't want to be weird.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, bro. I was like, we cool. What you mean? Like, nah,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Like,
Is that how boys fan out? Like, cause I feel like I'm only ever in rooms with famous people, with like my good girlfriends, and so I know what it looks like for like them to be nervous and go up. But I'm like, if a dude's like a little bit starstruck or like just feeling lesser in the power dynamic, is that it? Just like shy vibes, or do they talk a lot? Or I guess does it matter?
I've had to talk a lot, but I honestly, if you are that, not everyone is that. Not everyone is like shy or like fanning out like that. But if you are, I'd rather you just be like how they've said it, so I could just be like, oh nah, it's cool, and kind of like don't make it weird. Some people make it weird. They try to like do other stuff to overcompensate or make it like, I don't know, try to be funny or like.
Ew.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than trying to be funny and not be.
Yeah. I get joy from like people who are like, you know, like whether it's a girl who's like, I was an adulterer, and then I got my man to become an adulterer. Like I was like, you got to listen to this podcast, and now we both listen together.
That
and I'm
is
like,
fire.
oh man, I'm
That's
gonna be so
incredible.
sad when you guys break up. But,
Right?
but for now, that's really, really cool.
Well, it
While you
comes to
guys-
the wedding.
While you guys are pretending you're happy together, I really appreciate I could be a part of that. And I've had girls be like, I have girls who started the adulterer journey single, and now they got a man. So I've seen them go from like fans as single women to now I'm in a relationship, and my boyfriend listens also.
And I've got to be respectful.
And I got to be
you.
respectful, right? Yeah. So I've watched the whole journey. I've watched the growth.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big day when I roll up in here with a boyfriend, huh?
Well, you'll probably be fired.
We can't lose that content.
The only way that would be allowed, like if you
Allowed.
you guys were like toxic, then I would be like, oh yeah,
Oh, this is great.
perfect.
Yeah, this is great.
Come tell the stories on the pod.
Yeah.
Every week.
But if you're like happy,
No.
that's not what we do.
Boring.
Can't have
That's
that.
not what we do here.
Yeah, we're not
Boring.
letting you have you Mary J. Blige.
That's not our mindset.
No. For me, it's weird. It's not weird. It's actually very interesting because I haven't had any weird interactions in person. Everybody's really cool. The most interesting spot has been DJing. I was DJing at a strip club, and one of the dancers was like, "Hey, I'm an adulterer. I love the show.
I wish you would've told me that.
You two are crazy."
Why
And
don't you
then-
hit me up for that? you hit me up for a whole lot of other stuff. I never got a DM like, yo, pull up. There's adulterers at Starlets.
And like she's talking to me before she goes on stage. She's just like, "Oh my God, you guys are crazy. I love you and Ian." Tell Ian I said hi, and I'm there with my boy.
never told me. He never told
And
me.
he's like,
He's a hater.
I'm there with my boy DJ Be Real. He's just like, "Yo, you popping out here?" I'm like, "Nah, man. You know, we just do the show." And then coming up to the stage, Synecdoche, you know.
How do you spell that?
God.
How do you spell
Like, guess
Schenectady?
what city she's from? You know.
It sounds like
Shout out to Schenectady.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You put this stuff out there, and you imagine, like, you have in your head what you think the listenership is, but you don't really know. I mean, until you go out there and you see the demographic. Like even like a couple weeks ago when I got Lisa to come do the podcast, like I was talking to her before I came on. I was like, "Oh, come do the podcast." I was like, "I think the adulterers would love like your comedy and what you do," and she kind of figured that like our listeners were like the bro podcast guys, which I'm like, no, it's not. It's like women and men like who are dating or trying to date or trying to be better. It's not like this. Like the original idea of the Adulthood podcast was to mock the Andrew Tates of the world.
Exactly.
That's like the angle we were going to. We didn't want to do another podcast where it was just men telling women. That's why occasionally we still do it where I'll just make fun of women. But the adulterers know that that's what's happening. Sometimes in the clips, they don't know that's happening.
The
they don't
real
know that
adulterers know.
the real adulterers know.
Yeah.
In the clips, people don't know that we're literally mocking those guys. We're making fun of something they would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like the original. That's why I was like, we're going to do this and we're going to keep it funny. And originally, I didn't know that we wouldn't have any guy guest.
Yeah.
We
Wait,
just-
what's up with that?
We're the most progressive podcast on the
feminists.
internet.
I was gonna
We're
say.
hardcore feminists.
and we
yeah.
thank you for your work.
Absolutely.
You know me, I'm always pro women. So
I just
never any, and a lot of them have tried. They've reached out.
okay. Who's a dream male? Okay, who's a dream
Sydney
male?
Sweeney.
No, no.
Rihanna.
Male guest.
Sydney
There's no
Sweeney
male
if
guest.
she trans.
If Obama hit me up and was like, yo, I want to come on a podcast, I would say, Obama, we don't have men.
And then you would just direct him my way, and I could see if I have. He has.
Yeah, I would say hit them up. Maybe they can get you on a podcast. We don't do guys. If Michelle wants to come on, she could come on your behalf.
With the Secret Service.
Okay, then dream female guest who's not Sydney Sweeney or Rihanna. Dig deep.
Oh, I know. I have two.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Diana Pasolka and what's the other
the
lady?
stripper?
No, I wish. No. She's actually
Synchronicity or whatever.
what's her name? You know her?
No.
Oh no. And then Sarah Amari Walker. Not Amari.
Who are these people? I don't know any of them.
I was gonna
There's science. So Sarah Amari Walker, she's an astrophysicist. She wrote a book, Life as No One Knows It.
Boring.
I know.
No, cool.
No, she's like brilliant. And then
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Brilliant women to have on.
exactly.
Hello.
And then Diana Pasolka, she is.
That's not what our listeners come for.
She's another
an NPR.
author. She wrote the book. She wrote 2 books. I'm blanking on the name right now, but like crazy brilliant.
Wow. Okay. Look
Yeah.
at you elevating the podcast.
You see my sweater?
Drea
Come on now, you
Michelle
see
from
that?
Basketball Wives LA.
How you catch her?
And who else? Sexy Red.
That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Okay.
What's your opening question for Sexy Red?
Is it
I
Blue Hole
kinda-
Brown?
I know she comes. I know she comes. Like I've seen her on a podcast. You kind of just gotta let her go.
Heard.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta let her go. So you kind of just gotta like give her the thing and just let her.
And
talk.
she's gonna go.
Yeah, Adulthood Pod. Real quick, if you want to see me on the road, March 21st to the 23rd, I'm at Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. And March 28th to the 29th, I'm at Rose City Comedy in Taylor, Texas. So come check me out on the road, Helium, Portland, Rose City, and Taylor, Texas. Come see me in March. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.
We're in like a major era of female rappers, I feel like.
I think it's transitioning.
Like, to me, I'm like the most undeniable artist right now is Doechii.
Exactly.
Doja Cat.
I was sleeping on her.
Doja Cat's fire too.
So
Cat is
good.
fire. I saw Doja Cat the other day. I'm not even
In the streets?
Doja Cat?
I can't tell the story. Sorry, Pop.
Come on, man.
Why?
You can't edge us like
I
that.
did see it.
Is that the term?
What? I don't know if I noticed her in person because she's got
I didn't.
so many
I
different
didn't.
looks.
And she was wearing a baseball hat. I didn't know who it was. And then people told me.
I mean, are you saying what apartment building she's walking out of? Like, she has some pretty crazy stuff on the internet. So I don't.
Who?
Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah. So I don't imagine
What kind of crazy
what
stuff?
story you have is.
I don't have a crazy
detrimental.
story. Nothing crazy happened. I
Oh.
just can't say what was happening.
Okay.
tell
Oh,
us
Mr.
after.
Hollywood. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell
But her music's dope, and like she can really rap.
Yeah, she
Same
can
thing
really
with
rap.
Doechii, where I
You
was
know
just
who I
like,
like? Glorilla.
Glorilla is.
Glorilla can rap.
You know
she
what?
gets crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Sexy Red or Glorilla on? You know what really didn't sit well with me? Bruno Mars's new song,
That's Sexy
Fat,
Red.
Juicy, and Wet.
Yeah, that's sexy, right?
I don't want to
Like
hear
you're
him.
reaching now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear him talking about sex.
I know.
And it just, I'm like,
Mr. Uptown Funk.
WAP already exists. Like,
I like Bruno Mars because Bruno Mars is 5'4" and has sex with a lot of supermodels.
And
So
does-
I can't get mad at a guy like that.
And goes skiing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he made a joke in the press with Fat, Juicy, and Wet because it came out of nowhere. I was like, Trump just got inaugurated. Like, I need you to calm the fuck down. And he was like, this is going to help me get out of my gambling debts. And I'm like, clearly. Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah,
song
it's
is
not
what-
on my rotation.
It's a hit though.
Is it?
I mean, I hear it. I hear it. played.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Is that Sexy Red's part? Da-da-da-da. Whatever.
I've
I
never
think I
heard
heard
it.
the song one time, and then like I just
And that's a DJ right there. So he.
Yeah.
I'm on my retirement tour. I think I'm gonna retire at the end of 2025 from DJing in the clubs.
Would you DJ my wedding?
I do corporate events, private events. Yeah, but in the clubs, actually, it's a medical condition. I can't have people putting their phones in my face anymore because I might end up in jail. So I'm retiring.
Heard that. Okay, noted.
Yeah, I think it's
Who
all still
who do you
phone.
think would be a good dream guest?
For y'all,
Yeah.
God.
I want honestly because I'm thinking about it. I don't know if it would be those people. If I had to pick on somebody, it would be somebody who, if they came on, their fan base would stay with us, right? Like I don't want to just interview somebody just because I want to know stuff about them. I want it to be like somebody who would make sense, would be good on a podcast, and then the people who like them would like us.
You know who I think would be good? Because I was thinking, like, I think y'all would do well with some TikTok personalities. Do you know Drew Affollow? She's like, I might be pronouncing her last name wrong, but she has a huge following, and she made her like career with like necking kind of like these incel men who like comment on her post and will be like, "You're fat," and she's like, "You are unemployed."
You said negging or necking?
Negging.
Negging. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Hold
That's
on.
a whole different
That's where's she
channel.
from? Totally different.
She lives in LA now. I think she's from Hawaii, but I could be wrong. But she's beautiful, engaged, relax. To like what?
Who you saying to relax?
I
I
don't
thought you were gonna say Wichita.
no, Wichita. No, but she's a huge fucking deal. So maybe we DM her. But I think she would have a good, I think she'd have a good counter to how y'all see dating situations.
Why? Well, we would be aligned because we're all feminists. What would be different?
I don't know.
What you think our most controversial view is?
I think you say a lot of insane shit.
That's just for the algorithm.
Yeah, for the algorithm.
I don't say it for the algorithm. I say it because I believe it. But what do you think is the craziest?
I don't think it's the craziest. I feel like, well, with both of you, it's different. I'm like, with you specifically, I think your view of women is just different than mine is in terms of what they want out of a relationship.
I don't think it's that different.
Really?
Yeah.
I think my crew just maybe isn't as materialistic as maybe the crew that you run with. Like
I don't have a crew, but I don't.
I have no friends.
I know I don't have a crew, but I don't think that. Like my girlfriend, like my close girlfriends are not materialistic. They're all like married and like in relationships. But the girl who is materialistic, they exist. Like maybe I'm just speaking about them. I know that the opposite exists too.
Okay.
Like maybe when I'm telling a story, I'm speaking about a specific type, but I know there's other types.
They out there.
What?
The other types, it's a full spectrum though. I think that's what it is. It's just like sometimes we might speak about one side of the spectrum. Sometimes we might speak about the middle, and then sometimes we might speak about the opposite side. The opposite side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what's the age range on your group of friends?
Like 22 to 30.
I'm not running around with a lot of 22-year-olds.
Okay.
Probably like 20.
Shame on you.
What? Jesus. I'm probably like 26 to 30 is my crew.
That's
Like they're all
That's,
close.
they're
Okay.
grown.
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
grown.
We've got our shit together kind of.
No, I mean, but that's the thing. Do you? Because like, shit, I'm mid-30s and I don't got my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, it's getting in line, but I think once you cross the 30 threshold, you realize that like, number one, there ain't no real like getting your shit together. Like, you can try and you can put like intentional effort of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, but you realize that life always throws you curveballs, and it's just like you just have to show up every day like I'm gonna try my best and like not try to control every situation. That's what I've learned in, again, my 36 chamber. Shout out to the Wu-Tang, the Jizza.
Okay.
Having your shit together is relative.
That's a t-shirt.
Your shit is only together relative to who you compare yourself with.
Bling! Can I get a t-shirt
Fair.
noise?
And like, if you have your shit together, your job, like, I feel like it's that Oprah quote where it's like, you can have it all, just not all at once. Like, you can have 4 out of the 5 pieces of the pie going well, but it's like very rare that someone's slain in every single category.
Yeah, for sure. And then another thing too that you realize too is like, honestly, the most important thing is your health. You know what I mean? Because
Y'all are always saying this.
it is. Because
Number one health and wellness podcast in the hood.
in America, in the world. But honestly, you grind so hard, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum where you grind so hard, but you're tearing your body down. You're not sleeping. Like, I fully realized that sleep is very important. And I was always the guy,
Sleep is the cousin of death.
that was me.
I think I'm drunk.
It's like, I don't even know what that means, I'm going to be honest.
But that was me.
And why not
I
siblings?
think I got that tatted somewhere.
Look at tequila's in.
It's the Ocho. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you realize that, oh yeah, sleep is the cousin
Tupac
of death.
said that.
That's true. He had it thug life. Sleep is the cousin of death, but it's also
Talk me through that.
the leading cause of dementia. What?
No sleeping. We up all night.
Grinding.
That's my Instagram bio.
Up all night to get lucky.
Oh my God. Daft
Bruno
Punk.
Mars.
Oh, we
And-
up all night.
Oh,
to
no.
get
And Lucky Day.
Yeah.
Up all night.
Where'd
For
that
real.
song go?
Drunk. That's how you know you're drunk. You start bringing up Daft Punk deep dive.
2016.
Okay. Do you guys want to go into an advice segment or talk about?
People want advice. We're here for advice. So if people want advice, we got to give it.
Okay,
to them.
I
We
wanna
are non-trained, trained professionals.
Right. Okay, I want to go back to a few questions based on like fan DMs and whatever.
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you guys want to go? You know what? Let's start with like that one friend one, because I've had a few people bring this up to me recently. Like, obviously, y'all are like a couple years older than me, but like not that much older. Like, I think we're all in the age range where like by now it's kind of ridiculous if you're like getting wasted at like every single party. Like, it's just not a good look. Like,
Every single one is not.
that's why I'm like, have you guys had a friend or someone in your life where you've, as a group, been like, he needs to get his shit together? And if so, how do you confront the person who like won't turn the party button off?
That's a great question, especially I'm a DJ, so it's just like you kind of want that friend sometimes too. But it also depends on where you're at in your life, because like now I have enough, I guess, wisdom to say that, or to see that friend is depressed. That friend is going through something. No, that friend is going through something and is using the alcohol to suppress whatever they're going through in their life. So it's just like, yo, bro, what's up? And if they're not able to like articulate what they're really going through or seek the actual help that they need, then it's just like, hey man, like I have a mortgage, bro. So until you really want some like actual help, I kind of have to like distance myself. I hope nothing bad happens to you, but like, You start and it might sound selfish or whatever, but like you also start realizing that you have like higher level priorities, especially like your family, you know what I mean, if you're a relationship, things like that, where it's just like I don't have this the new word I learned, bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth for your bullshit. That's a t-shirt.
Wow.
All right. New adulthood rules. You're only allowed 3 wasted nights a year.
After what age?
After 26.
All right.
That's a good rule, and that's generous.
Yeah. Like after
fair.
3, then we got to do an intervention.
But what's
Right.
wasted? Like blackout? Like
Yes.
where you do something that could either land you in prison, get you fired from your job, sued for sexual harassment, or unfriended.
I mean, if you're doing that 3 times a year, that's
Well, we got to live.
There's always vacation.
Yeah, we gotta live a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. There's tequila.
Just because you're older doesn't mean you have to stop living.
Yeah.
Right.
Like tequila comes from Mexico.
Okay. 3 nights a year is generous, but I guess like my question is,
It is generous. That's generous.
That's very
I thought I
generous.
was being generous.
That's very generous.
like 3
That's
people
only
are
'cause I've been
talking about
drinking.
you for a couple weeks after it happened. My question is like,
But
how-
I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think that like when it's men just hanging out with men, it's like you're allowed more freedom. You could stretch your legs a little more. If there's girls around, if your girl's around, you brought a girl around, you can't go crazy
right.
because you got to be the man.
And it also depends on the situation. If it's like a random Friday and then you just get blacked out, you have like we got to talk about this. But if it's a wedding, if it's like your best friend's wedding and like he's coming off of a divorce or something, he's getting married again, you're entitled to blackout.
weddings
No,
in
I don't think.
Switzerland.
No, I don't,
Okay.
I don't think you should black out at people's weddings.
My homeboy did it.
This
They
is
pay a
news
lot
to
of money
me.
for that.
My
Okay.
homeboy did it. He was twisted in his tan suit.
No,
Pictures
in tan.
twisted in tan.
you
That's
don't want
another
to do
t-shirt.
anything that'll take away the attention from the bride and the husband, right?
This guy's a gentleman.
Nice. That's true. That's
So
classy.
you got to know what kind of drunk you are.
This
Well,
guy's a
I'm
classy
coming at it from a
man.
different angle, and Johan, I'm sensing the same energy where I'm like, you asked me to fly out of state, pay for this hotel. I probably got a new dress on. I just spent $1,000 on this. I'm gonna enjoy myself.
But you can enjoy yourself for sure.
All right, I'm not blacking out at anybody's wedding. Okay,
Yeah, I mean-
fine.
But when you
At the
say,
after party.
when you
Yeah.
say blackout, what do you mean though? We gotta get like let's talk about what does that mean? What does that entail? A blackout?
kind of the list you said. Okay, fine. You make us
Like you
an
like are
advance
you
on
gonna
someone.
be the next day? You're gonna be embarrassed for a week?
Yeah, that's the type of blackout. Okay, fine. All right, maybe we'll
Maybe not at a wedding, but the after party.
The after party
Once the wedding is wrapped,
is done.
yeah. If there's an after party, everyone's for themselves.
It's free. It's a free for all.
Yeah, it's no rule.
There's no rules.
at the
There's
after
no
party.
rules.
Okay, noted.
The reception and the
And the ceremony,
ceremony.
you have to be in line.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
there
for
are
sure.
grandparents in the room.
Exactly.
But once you're out of the venue and the baby oil comes out, it's all rules are off. All bets are off.
All right.
21 and up.
Okay, heard that. Okay,
21
but
up.
say someone's going over their pre-allotted 3 nights a year. If you have a friend who's like,
Is this
I
happening
just
in your
lowered it
life?
2 nights a year. 3 just
What?
seems like too much.
Is one of
I
your,
was gonna say 3 sounds
Two-
three
two-
three
yeah, if yours
blackouts.
one of your
almost
friends
ending up in
is
jail.
reaching there?
Huh?
I said, if you're almost ending up in jail 3 nights a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
two,
what I'm saying.
Two.
If
And
there
that's
were-
generous. 2 is generous.
Two's
too.
generous too.
even 1 we could say is generous.
Yeah,
But 2
Everybody has a birthday.
Yeah.
it comes around every year.
Everybody has a birthday. You have to have protocols of like, all right, we know how you get, but we got you.
And everybody
So,
gets yelled
I
at their
just don't
boss.
get-
Yeah.
I don't get crazy like that anymore. Like even if I were to get like super drunk, like I'm not getting crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I'm more calm. Like I'm more chilled.
Okay, but even if someone so
You're
say-
also black.
That's true.
is that genetically different?
Yeah. The consequences for being like overly intoxicated.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in terms of how your body
No, I'm talking about as the
What?
repercussions for letting it go.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Okay, but say someone's just like, just always wasted, always under the influence. Like, Are you pulling them aside one-on-one? Are you calling them on the phone? Are you coming at this person as a group? Like, what is the best way to approach someone to give them the soft nudge to be like, you got to clean your shit up?
All my boys, like the people I hang out with, they just like, they know how to control their liquor, or when they don't, it's not crazy. Like, they just, they might, yo, I got wasted. Like, I went out with my boy, yo, I got wasted last night, but nothing crazy. They didn't do nothing crazy. Like, it just, I had to take them home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't need to apologize to a venue.
Is this happening in your life? Oh, that's happened.
Yeah.
Is this happening in your life?
Yes.
Is this person, what's their sober temperament like?
Sober temperament is just like they work a big finance job and they're just,
But that's the thing.
It's like just a nightmare. And it's like, we'll be hanging out, 4 of us, like, you know, like White Lotus is like a show's on and we're like chilling. And this person is downing like 2 bottles of wine, pulling out the snow. Like, I'm just like,
No.
It's definitely the finance. That's number one. Is it a high?
But that's a problem. That's somebody with a problem.
Yeah, is that a high pressure finance
White
job?
Lotus?
White Lotus
Yeah, no.
with the white girl.
2 bottles of wine
Yeah.
and snow.
White
Watching
Lotus,
White
2
Lotus.
bottles of wine, and the white girl.
What do they do at a rave?
What?
Right? So what do they do at a rave?
Yeah, I was,
Dead
gonna say,
ass.
I was like, that sounds like they
Destroy
were at a
property.
fucking
Yeah.
show.
Is it a high pressure finance job?
I think, I think like you said that, I think that was interesting what you said. They're probably unhappy. Like he's not.
Terribly.
He's not slaying.
No, terribly unhappy.
Yeah.
And-
He's single, dating girls who are brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something
What's
going.
that? What's
There's
the girl
something.
who's a brick wall?
Give me first date. Give me a first date question.
Do you sleep with men on the first date?
Are you asking me?
No, that's
the question.
This is the stuff I asked.
No,
on
do
first date.
it. Ew, what?
I don't like to waste time. I want to know if we're splitting this bill or not.
Yeah, I don't know. If we're going Dutch.
Going Dutch.
Going Dutch for
Do you like
100.
go karts?
What? Do you like go-karts? Yeah, I think they're great. I love that.
Cool.
That's
You
the
wanna
brick
get
wall.
Yeah.
That's the brick wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, but that's not a brick wall. Let's do more. All right. Do you like go karts?
Yeah, I think that's fun.
You've been go karting?
Yeah, I think, once.
How was that?
It was good. Like, I liked it.
Did you crash?
No, but it was hard.
You were driving or you were in the passenger?
Yeah, I was driving.
No, because sometimes they do the 2-seaters. Like so you could.
I was driving.
And you didn't crash?
No.
Oh, you're a good driver.
Whoa, flipped it in reverse. Okay.
See, this is not a bad. This isn't bad.
You think that's a fine date?
I think we're talking.
I think he's a high level professional.
You are right about that.
Like, come
Yeah,
on,
I'm
man.
like,
Didn't you hear the change in his tone of voice? This guy's a high level professional.
Yeah, I can flip a
You
brick
can flip
wall.
it. You can flip a wall.
I can drive through a brick wall.
He's pulling.
Yeah.
brick wall
pulling the
breaker.
bricks.
Yeah.
Pulling the bricks.
That's my middle name, Ian Brick Wall Breaker
Breaker.
Lara.
He's pulling the
If
bricks.
you go on a date with me and the date and you felt the date was bad, you have serious social issues.
You have nothing going on in your life.
Like, you
And
have
look at that
serious
confidence.
social issues.
And look at that confidence.
That
I mean,
comes-
I'm just saying socially, like we should be able. I mean, I
at least
I
have a
talk for living.
conversation.
Yeah, I can feign it. You can feign interest.
Right, yeah, I talk for a living. I can make, I mean, literally all you gotta do is just reply and understand basic humor.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine. We can get through dinner.
Okay. But yeah, I bet there are a lot of people who go on dates with both of you. Obviously, you're in a relationship, but to quote you when you were outside, adulthood phrase, we need to make a list of your most common thing. This, that, and the
That's
third
great.
is
That's
another
great.
one.
That's great.
But I feel like there are probably a lot of people who leave dates with both of you who are like, that was great. And then y'all are like, that was boring as fuck.
Yeah, I was about to say is if you're such a good conversationalist, do you feel like that like hinders your thought process on if it was like a good date or not? Just because you're able to have such good conversations with people?
That's a great question. You guys are asking great questions.
Well, here's the way I judge it, right? Like if I'm on a date when I was outside and things were going good, right? And like let's say because you gotta gauge what you're dealing with, right? So let's say I'm like we start with the go-kart thing, and you're kind of brick
Giving you
wallish.
nothing.
You're kind of brick wallish, but I drop like a couple jokes in it, but you're getting the jokes. So when I drop a joke, you laugh, you get into jokes. I'll try to raise up the level of the joke to see if your sense of humor raises up with it. And I'll try to see like how complex do you still get jokes? And if you get it at like the most, like if 30 minutes later or an hour later at the end of the night, like let's say we're walking out the restaurant and I say something like, how you getting home? Go-kart? And it's a callback and you got the callback, then I would be like, all right, like she has a good, she's on it. She has
might
a
have just
sense of
been
humor.
nervous.
Yeah, she has a sense of humor. She gets stuff like this. I could work with this.
You're getting a call back.
Yeah, I could work with this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could
okay.
work with this.
The thing is also, you know, back when I was outside, we discussed this, but we had like, you know, different level of techniques to make sure that it was always engaging. You know what I mean?
Some women are difficult.
They're great defenders. I
men
don't
are
even want to say
difficult.
defenders, but they're closed off.
They're not so. I mean, respectfully, some of them are just not socially out there.
And
like they're just not.
yeah.
They don't know.
God doesn't give with both hands.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some of them are just. I mean, I guess they can be brick wall ish, which I don't get that because it's like. Have you had a conversation before? Like, do you understand how conversations work?
That's the craziest thing to me is like when you meet someone's new SO and they're just giving nothing.
Is
and
that
I'm like,
the term in the streets?
What's that mean?
SO,
Significant other?
Oh,
Oh my God, keep up, you guys.
well, I'm
Duh.
sorry. I'm 34.
We're old.
What? Jesus.
My knee hurts right now.
But like, yeah, when you meet somebody's like new SO and they're like just fucking boring and
Or
you're
a
like,
second and a half off. Like there's a tape delay. Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, blow my brains out.
Yeah, that's
No.
definitely very difficult. Like if they have a tape delay, if it's 3 seconds
Like
off.
I'd rather go crazy than boring any day of the week.
No.
Well, let's
you
see.
don't want crazy.
Let's see if you could flip a brick wall guy.
I know I can't because I'm just gonna get annoyed with you.
Try.
Okay. Let me think of a question on par with do you go kart?
But before we start this exercise, do hot rules apply?
Hot rules?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if the guy's a brick wall, but he's hot, like do you still engage? Because I know at least in my experience when I was outside that like, oh, I've encountered a brick wall, but like she was hot and she was going for it. So it's just like this person's a brick wall, but she's hot.
It
You know
depends.
what I'm saying?
Well, it depends on like I'm
I'm talking about smoke show.
That's so unattractive to me. But like then if he's brick walling me, I have a hard time understanding how he's gonna come back around and pretend he's super attracted to me
when
and
you
make
say
a move.
brick wall, do you mean like I'm thinking brick wall like they're a brick wall where they're like just not there's a tape delay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
brick wall where they just have their defenses up.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as I just think that shit's so unattractive. Like if you're a smoke show, if you can turn it around and come on to me, maybe I'll sleep with you, but I'm not dating you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't date a dummy.
See what I mean? You're a man. Like that is.
And on episode 100, we finally
Yeah,
got
that
there.
is what guys think. That's not
you-
generally what women think.
I don't like being branded on this podcast as a pick me because I'm not.
No, we didn't say.
You
we
are
didn't say
telling
you're
it,
the-
but
You're
no,
just
you
telling
said
the
you're a-
truth. You're just
You-
telling
you're-
the truth.
You're a
who you
guy's
are.
girl. You're a guy's girl.
Yeah.
I'm
Is she a
not.
guy's
I went to an
girl?
all
You're
girls
one
high
of the
school.
bros.
I'm not. I went to an all girls high school.
You're broy though.
Really?
You just said if you're boring on a date, I'll sleep with you, but I ain't gonna date you.
You're gonna get married in the next couple of years.
If we
You
took,
think?
Yeah.
if we put a post
Waiting
up,
for him.
if we put a post
gonna
up
happen.
and put everybody in the room up, and we put the line, if I go on a date with you and you're boring, I'll sleep with you, but I'm not gonna date you. And we said, pick who said this.
Said that.
No one is picking you.
At all.
You're the last person they're gonna think he said that. They're gonna think the 4 men said that because you're a man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
gonna
It's a good thing.
not.
Do you
sleep
like?
tonight.
You don't like sports though.
What?
That's a good thing.
Eyes
You-
wide
you,
shut.
you act like that's a bad thing. It's a good thing.
I know, but that's my biggest insecurity is that I'm not feminine enough.
What do you want to be feminine for? For what? They got a lot. They could vote, drive. What else?
To quote,
What does
ABM,
that even
this, that, and the
mean?
third.
Yeah, this, that, and the third.
At this, that, and the third.
That's a t-shirt.
Wait, now I want to try and see if I can flip you.
All right. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Are you watching anything good on TV?
I saw that new Gabby, what is her name? DeBetto documentary where like she got killed by like her boyfriend. I thought that was cool.
Oh wow, what'd you like so much about it?
I'm really into like murder things. I'm interested in that.
What about murder do you like?
I don't know, it's just interesting to see how like anyone could murder at any time. Like I could be a murderer on this date, but
that's-
you don't
Think
even
you have
know it.
strong primal instincts?
Do I have that? Primal instincts? Like Amazon Prime?
I mean, yeah, sure. It's like, no, dead ass.
You panic.
Welcome to my head. Literally, where I'm like, so I'm gonna go.
Man, I can see it in your face. You're a fish out of
I'm
water.
gonna know. I'm just like, get me the fuck out of here.
But that's not.
You don't know
it's
how
not
to
brick
go.
wall.
I can see in your face when you're like, I could literally see in a woman's face when you're like, this man's a fucking idiot. I'm on a date with a fucking idiot. Wow. It just hit me. I'm on a date with a fucking idiot.
He's an idiot.
Like it just hit.
He's an idiot.
Wait, you nailed that.
Yeah. It's not my first rodeo.
God.
Like Amazon
Prime. Yeah.
I said primal instincts.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt.
No, a dumb guy gotta be tough. Cause with a dumb girl, you're just like, you could just be like, you know, she's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna try to do the best.
Ew.
You literally said you would do the same thing if he was hot. So why
That's
you
what
trying
I'm
to be?
saying, but
why you
it's-
trying to be a feminist now?
But
Well, I don't want to speak for myself 10 minutes ago.
Is it a test? Is it?
Evolved?
What? Yeah.
Is there a spectrum of hotness? That's a t-shirt.
Is there a spectrum of hotness?
There
Yeah.
definitely is a spectrum of hotness.
Like how
I
hot
don't
does
really
he have to
even
be
I don't even really like hot girls.
and dumb?
It's
No.
not. It's not hot. It's how masculine. Like I'm into
Oh.
like yeah.
I like regular girls. Like I'm
Does everybody hear that? Who's listening?
like that. I'm literally like I don't like the and this is gonna sound like I don't like the crazy Instagram model girl.
No.
who does?
Me. But I also like a regular girl.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
But
I also like a regular girl.
Yeah.
No, I like a regular girl. Like to be with, I like a regular girl. Like not, and by regular, I just mean like like I'm gonna find you irresistible, but you don't need to be like done up with filler and eyelashes.
think that's what-
Drake
but-
said it first.
but that's not
What do you
what's
say?
Sweatpants, hair tied, chill with no makeup on.
Well,
That's
no,
when
you
you're the
can't.
pretty-
You can't chill with me with no makeup on. But you put your makeup on, and you know we could watch Netflix.
we'll figure it out.
Well, I was gonna say APM. Your girlfriend is knockout beautiful. Like when you pulled up in the fur, I was like, you have to wear a fur if you're rolling with her. Like she's stunista and she's got a career. Good for you.
I'm the luckiest man in the universe.
You really are.
Clip that.
As Ian finishes his drink.
I think I need another shot.
We could clip that.
Wait, we got fan questions or voicemail? Or that was it?
That was
it.
an old one.
Oh.
We got here's another one. This is going into work, but it's kind of similar with what we're talking about with like communication mishap. Like, have y'all ever had like a boss or like, you know, in like your career, like someone big at like a big agency or someone you're trying to impress who no matter how hard you try to get in front of them or like spend time with them or ask for time with them, like they just don't give a fuck about you? Do you like, I guess the question is like, if the CEO of your company just like doesn't care if you live or die and you've tried to make an impression,
It's most CEOs.
do you just release it? Or like, do you try, like, do you have advice for a different tactic on how to get their attention? Like, what would be the advice there?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't really try to impress people. I kind of just try to like be myself, and you know that's enough. I guess that's part of adulting. Just yourself, like nothing more.
Yeah.
Like, nothing more. Because anything more than yourself is just inauthentic. It ain't authentic.
And I learned about this at actually a networking group that I'm a part of. Shout out to Black Men in Technology, but it's called the pull strategy in the sense of
The pull-out strategy.
that too. Ugh. Anyway, you just do the best work. You put yourself out there in the sense of this is quality work, and you keep just like delivering and keep delivering where your name is automatically going to get on their radar just because of the quality that you're putting in. Quality and consistency.
Quality and
And that's what's gonna bring people to you. So it's the pull strategy. Instead of like pushing yourself out there and like pushing your like in a corporate sense, pushing your resume on LinkedIn or whatever. On the flip side, the pull strategy is this is what I did. This is a project that I did. This is another project that I did. I'm talking from like a software development perspective where you built a website that does this, you does that, and then you build solutions to problems that already exist. It's naturally gonna pull people towards you.
okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Wait, I love that.
Adulthood Podcast. I'm here.
I was gonna say,
You know,
we're at 7:30.
Don't let the sweater fool you.
Yeah,
You heard?
yeah, we
I was about to say 7:30.
I had one more question.
Talk to us.
Unless you want
No, let's do it.
to end it. I have this friend. He's moving from Chicago. He's moving back to his hometown, Colorado, and he's
Boulder.
Actually Boulder. Yeah, he's what's it called? He's moving in with his parents, and he's like 24. You know, he's moving in with his parents to like get his feet back on the ground. And his cousin lives with his parents, right? So the cousin's living with his uncles, right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And his cousin is pushing 30, right? Would you feel guilty if the fact that you're moving back, your parents are telling your cousin that he has to move out, and your cousin's hasn't always been the like type to like be financially stable and shit, and like he's like, you know, always struggling type shit. Is he overreacting for feeling guilty?
No, I don't think that's guilty. It is. It's my parents. I'm supposed to be homeless because you're homeless.
Because you can't get a job, son.
God,
Yeah.
that's hard.
GTFOH.
Is it that hard?
It's hard to.
It's semi.
What's
It's a joke.
Yeah. It's not fully hard.
hour 814? Holy shit!
It is. Why is it that hard though?
It's not hard at all.
It's hard to encourage people to step their game up.
No, but he's not talking about the encouragement. He's talking about the fact that you need to move out. I'm moving back home.
It's my parents.
It's my parents.
These are my
I'm
parents.
moving back home.
I came from them. Yo, figure it out. You're about to be 30. That's the thing. Like, you're about to be 30 years old. When did you move out?
I was 28.
28.
But when I moved back home from college, my parent they owned a three. They had a three family, and I had one of the apartments.
And you were paying rent.
Yeah, I didn't move back in the house, and I was paying rent.
So you were paying rent.
Yeah.
You had responsibility.
Yeah, since I was 22.
You were working.
Yeah.
I left the house at 18 years old, and I said to myself, I'd rather be homeless than move back home. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you gotta hold people accountable. Like, yo, figure it out. Figure out your financial struggles. Is he working? Like, work 2 jobs. Like, we're gonna be transparent. I know you gotta leave, but like in between jobs, I was doing Uber Eats and stuff like that. Like, my big ass and I was DJing too, talking about like, here's your wings and stuff like that.
I was
you know
gonna
what I'm
say
saying?
thanks for the smash burger.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? Threw the milkshake in there. People, so many people are afraid of work. Like,
They are. People lazy. People
lazy, bro.
To quote, people make fun of Kim Kardashian. I'm like, it's one of the best quotes that's ever been said.
Who makes
like,
fun of Kim Kardashian?
What?
I said, who makes fun of her?
She got a Nike deal.
Nobody, dead ass. But her quote, like, it's so dead ass where she's like, it seems like nobody wants to work these days. Get off your ass and work. It's true.
Yeah. And work, like, people, she doesn't work. She does, though.
She works.
She works
She's
her ass off.
constantly working.
Even before
off.
she was like this huge multi-millionaire mogul, like even when she was like doing modeling, it was work though. They got to be up at 5. They got to fly places. That's work. People don't even want to do that.
Also, you can have your 15 minutes of fame, if that's 5 minutes of whatever, with TikTok, whatever. You don't have a career as long as hers does if you're
Nike
not working
deal.
your
No,
she has a cat
works.
with 1 billion lives.
Nike
deal.
Infamously a hard worker.
Her whole family. They are like,
What's her
clearly,
name? What's the mom name?
Chris.
She runs a tight
Queen.
ship.
She's the mom
Of
Mama
the
Joe
century?
Jackson.
She literally is. Hey, you gonna put that kitty out there.
She's more successful though. She's more successful. She's turned. How many of her daughters are billionaires?
You're gonna put that kitty out
and
there.
then the rest of them are all triple-digit millionaires.
Yeah, they're triple-digit millionaires. I mean, we
had Michael and Janet though. Shout out to Tito.
For real.
Put that kitty out there.
Wow. That's really kind of like the staying note of this. Okay, what's your note to end on? What do you want for the next 100?
That's a great question.
How do you want to close out this Milestone app?
I mean, first off, I want to thank all the adulterers who have been here from day one, and even the ones who came in down the line and went back and listened to the stuff, and even the people who are still catching up on the stuff. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week. it means the world to us. When we did this, I didn't know who was gonna listen. I didn't know how it was gonna be. So I'm grateful for every single one of the people that listen. And I think the goal is to get to a point where, you know, the adulterers is just a bigger group, just more people to listen, more people tuning in, make Johan want to leave the food truck and come back to New York.
To the East Coast, yeah.
That's what I think. I think I thrive well off like, what's the word?
Positive revenge?
No, yeah, just like I'm very vengeful, you know, just like that's the thing that motivates
Tony
me.
Stark's.
Like you leave this podcast, now I'm like, okay, I want to be the number one podcast.
There you go.
Before, I didn't want to be that. But now because you left, I want to be that because I want you to see it every day when you're like,
damn,
going through
yeah.
Jesus.
and being like, I shouldn't have left. I made a poor choice.
I love that.
I think that's a good message to get on.
That's a great message.
Get revenge on people with success.
With success.
That's the best way to do it.
That's a t-shirt. That's very a t-shirt. I would like to say thank you to all the adulterers for sure. But I would say thank you to you. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, why you got this gap tooth ass nigga on the with his bald head on the motherfucking
Yeah, those are comments.
I'm still here. 100 deep.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But for real, shout out to all the adulterers. Not for real. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you for putting me on. You know what I mean? I think for the next by 200 episodes, I'd like to do a live event for sure. We got some things that we're cooking
Get a photo.
on. Yeah, that we're planning and then we're talking about. Big shout out to everybody that's listened from day one to today. Anybody that's listening for the first time. Yo, my aunt listens in London. Shout out to my aunt.
Shout out to the UK Bredrum.
Yeah, bruv. You know, and let's keep this thing growing.
100, baby. Thank you guys for listening. Adulthood Pod. We will continue to perform and put on for you guys. 347-378-9423. Woo! Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope to do 1,000 more episodes for you guys.
Johan, bring us some tacos.
Adulterers, you guys are great. We love you guys always. Thank you. Peace.
Yay. Up. Yes.